Ебать! Охуеть!
Это пиздец. Это пиздец. Ой, блядь.
On August 19, 2025, Russia once again launched a large-scale strike against central Ukraine. The targets were clear: the Kremenchuk oil refinery, the largest processing facility in the country, and the Lubensky gas compressor station in Poltava. Explosions tore through the industrial zone, flames engulfed the refinery, and thick black smoke rose into the sky, visible from miles away. For the people of Kremenchuk, it was another grim reminder that infrastructure once seen as secure remains vulnerable in this ongoing war. The refinery in Kremenchuk has always been more than an industrial asset. It is the beating heart of Ukraine's energy network, processing high-quality Azeri light crude from Azerbaijan. Its importance makes it a natural target. Yet, despite being struck multiple times since the start of the war, the facility still lacked the protection it needed. Russia executed the attack using a layered strike strategy designed to overwhelm defenses. The first wave consisted of dozens of Garan-2 drones, also known as Shahed-1 3-6. Slow, noisy, and relatively easy to detect, yet their role was not to destroy. Their purpose was to saturate radar systems and force Ukrainian air defenses to respond. Each drone, worth only tens of thousands of dollars, often drew fire from interceptor missiles worth millions. This cost imbalance has become a constant weakness for Ukraine, one that Russia continues to exploit. Once the drones distracted the defenses, Kh-101 cruise missiles were launched from two 95 MS strategic bombers deep inside Russian territory. With a range of over 2,000 kilometers, these missiles fly low, hugging terrain to avoid radar. Their accuracy is high, and this time they struck directly at the refinery's core infrastructure, igniting massive fires. Finally came the Iskander-M ballistic missiles. Moving at hypersonic speeds, Mach 5 to Mach 7, these weapons are nearly impossible to intercept. One of them slammed into the Lubensky gas compressor station, crippling a key part of Ukraine's natural gas transmission system. With this final stage, Russia ensured that its most critical targets were completely destroyed. Ukraine does have a layered air defense system, but its limitations are obvious. Patriots, SAM-PT, NASAMS, IRIS-T, and a few remaining Soviet-era S-300 and Buk-M1 units form a diverse but thin shield. Modern systems like Patriot and SAMP/T are concentrated around Kyiv and key government facilities. Poltava and Kremenchuk, despite housing vital energy infrastructure, receive far less protection. Soviet-era systems, already aging, are running low on interceptors after 2.5 years of continuous use. And while NASAMS and IRIS-T are effective, there are simply not enough units to cover the vast territory of Ukraine. This imbalance raises a difficult question. Kyiv is heavily defended. but critical facilities in the regions are left vulnerable. Despite repeated strikes on Kremenchuk, Ukraine has not been able, or perhaps has not chosen, to redeploy sufficient defenses there. The result is predictable. Every major wave of missiles and drones leaves the refinery in flames once again. This attack is not an isolated event. Since March 2025, Russia has carried out nearly 3,000 strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. The strategy is systematic. By hitting oil refineries, power plants, and gas pipelines, Russia aims to weaken Ukraine not only on the battlefield, but also in its economy and civilian life. At the same time, Ukraine's weaknesses remain clear. Despite repeated attacks, Kyiv has struggled to establish a truly effective defense for its critical energy infrastructure. The reliance on Western aid continues, but deliveries are slow and systems are too few to cover the entire country. The decision to prioritize the capital leaves vital facilities like Kremenchuk exposed. From a strategic perspective, Russia's approach is working. By focusing on energy, it forces Ukraine to spend resources it cannot spare, while also undermining morale. Ukraine's response, meanwhile, appears reactive rather than proactive, an ongoing vulnerability that Moscow is quick to exploit. The strike on Kremenchuk illustrates a larger reality of modern war. Battles are no longer confined to trenches, forests, or frontline cities. They are also fought in oil refineries, in power grids, and in the silent flow of gas pipelines beneath the soil. As long as Ukraine's air defenses remain limited in number and unevenly distributed, Russia will continue to exploit this gap. Each wave of Garand drones, Kh-101 missiles, and Iskander strikes demonstrates that energy infrastructure remains an easy and devastating target. For Ukraine, the consequences are double. Military mobility is reduced, and economic stability is shaken. For Russia, the strategy has proven cost-effective and strategically significant. And for the people of Ukraine, it means living under constant threat, not only at the front, but also in the very systems that keep their country running. The war in Ukraine is no longer just about territory. It is about survival in every dimension, military, economic, and civilian. And in this struggle, energy has become both the weapon and the battlefield.